Okay, good morning to you all students. I believe you spend your weekends with healthy and safety manner, and also I believe that you are now working out with your first exercise that which I have given to you last Thursday. Okay, then I ask you to upload it into the LMS. Okay, and I believe you are getting the time until 31st of December. Okay, so you can take your time and you can search some sources in internet as well as your recommended textbook and try to find the answers for that given three questions. Okay, so those are very important because I'm giving these questions. Normally, I'm asking the same type of question in your examination. So you can get a practice before you are facing the examination, and then you know how to write the answers. Because I evaluate each and every student answer, and I give the marks, and also mark will available in LMS once the deadline is over, right? So then you can evaluate yourself up to what extent you are in, and you can have a picture that what are the things you need to improve. Okay, right. So today actually I'm not planning to do a session because I have already recorded the session and uploaded into the LMS. So I believe that most of the students have some difficulties with join with the live sessions, as well as you have another subject also as further you need to join with your tutorial classes, right? So I feel that it is better to have a recording lectures on you, and I uploaded the recording materials into your respective week, right? I take only one day for a 30-35 minutes. If you have any questions, so we can discuss with the live session, right? Otherwise you have to spend considerable amount for the internet and everything, right? So therefore it is very difficult for you to come to 2 days as well as the tutorial classes for the live sessions, right? So I recorded this model formulation session, right, as a two videos because it is very difficult to see 45 minutes videos at once, right? Therefore I divided into two, like 30 minutes and 25 minutes recording. So I uploaded into the LMS once this session is over, right? As well as a PPT. So you can refer the video and you can refer the PPT. Actually, PPT not have any details, but it has some exercises you can work in on. Okay. So then all together you can take your time and get the understanding of the subject very well, right? So that is a thing I'm preferring to deal with the next few sessions. Okay, so then next week onward I think Miss Achintani will take over the class, and she will discuss with you regarding simplex method. Okay, right. So once since you are there, right, I just briefly explain you what is this model formulation coming under the management science subject. Okay, so last week we discussed about what is management science and why it is important to you to learn, right? So then we know that actually management science is some kind of technique or some kind of tools we are using to solve our existing problem, right? Then I told you that last time the problem, it has three different things you need to verify first. When you are looking at the problem, you need to look at these three things. Okay, so you have to construct or you have to have your objective relating to your existing problem. And then you need to identify what are the restrictions or what are the limitations that you are going to face when you try to solve the problem, right? Then lastly, you need to know about what are the alternatives methods. So what are the alternative strategies we can follow to solve our problem, right? So last time I asked you one example also, then you can remember what we know about the problem and its basic components, right? So looking at these three components, the alternative, restriction, and objective criterion, normally we develop the management science model, right? We develop the model we called as linear programming model, right? So that linear programming model consists with the alternatives, the objective criterion, as well as the constraints. Okay, so this is the subject, this is the topic that we are going to dealing with in our session number 2, right? Actually, at the end of the session, you will be able to develop a model, that means mathematical model based on the problem you have. Okay, when we are developing that model, first of all, we need to understand about our objective, then we need to find out our alternatives, and then our constraints. Okay, so these are the basic concept, these are the basic things we will discuss about the management science linear programming model. So the next question, why we call it as a linear programming? So we know that under the mathematical model, we always consider it as a linear relationship, right? Now, I believe that you know the meaning of the linear relationship and non-linear relationship, right? Since you are familiar with the economic subject, you know the linear mean you are having some clear direction about among the variables or parameters and some factors that you are dealing with. Right? Now, for an example, if you consider about the demand function, right? If you consider about demand function, that's called QD equal A minus BP, right? So you know that. So price and quantity of demand has negative relationship. So that's what we call linear relationship, right? So we can easily see that when the price goes up, we can see the quantity demand going down. That's what we call linear relationship. Then what do you mean by non-linear relationship? So non-linear relationship mean actually we cannot see the direction of the relationship like negative or positive, right? If you are familiar with the, I know that you definitely familiar with the Cobb-Douglas production function, right? Coming under your microeconomics, you are familiar with the Cobb-Douglas production function, right? So it says the production is a function of labor and capital, right? But it is written as non-linear relationship because we cannot see exactly how labor and capital going to be influenced to the production, right? So that's the difference between linear and non-linear. Now remember, under the management science, we are not dealing with non-linear functions or non-linear models. We are only dealing with linear programming models. That means we can see directly the negative and positive relationship between or among the variables, right? So that's the thing we are dealing with the management science model, right? So I'm not going to dealing with all the things. I'm not going to discuss everything in your linear programming, right? I have uploaded, I will upload a video very soon, right? So then we are discussing about what is linear programming. Then these are the details, and we have to come across with some assumptions when the linear programming models constructing, right? So then, so these are the examples, right? So today I just want you to make sure that, so this is very simple example I discussed with you, right, in your video, right? Then I let you know how to develop the linear programming model based on these 4 criteria, right? Then this is the example answer, right? Now you can see with the example 1, this is the way you are going to develop the linear programming model. Now this is actually the model that we are going to develop, right? Now this is our objective function and these are our constraints, right? Based on this, we try to identify our alternative solutions, right? So I told you that the management science, we discuss about 2 solution method. One is feasible solution, another one is optimal solutions, right? So then how to find out the solution based on this developing model? We can use 2 things, actually 3 things, right? But first here I'm referring 2 things, okay? Or we can find out the feasible and optimal solution based on graphical method, right? Right. Now, if you remember your O-levels, that means your ordinary level examination for the mathematics subject, you draw graph. Right? O-level graph. So that's graph representing two axes, and you can see what when one variable change, what will happen to the other variable and something like that. Right? So that same mathematical model or that same graphical model we can apply to the linear programming also in order to find out what are the feasible solution and optimal solution. Okay, but the limitation of using this graphical method is if we are having only two variables, that means our decision is based on only two factors, then we can use graphical model. But unfortunately, we know that in a realistic, we cannot expect that we are having only two variables, right? So therefore, if we are having more than two variables, we have to go with the another solution technique we call simplex method. So that is a method that next week onward, Ms. Akintani will discuss with you, right? So this session, actually, now this is some kind of example you need to refer with your textbook, right? Very simple example. And this is what I called you as a graphical method, right? Now you can remember in your O-levels, right? So you have two axes. These are your constraint lines representing, right? This is your model, right? Then you find out the feasible solution, right? I'm not going to discuss in detail because you can see the video later. Right. Now, this is a feasible solution. A part of this feasible solution, then you are going to identify what is your optimal solution. I believe now you remember the difference between feasible solution and optimum solution. Right? Those who are not remembering, I just recall your example last time. Right? I asked you to consider about the problem of COVID-19 and future of your education. Right? Then I asked your friends to think about what are the alternatives that you can come across with the problem of COVID-19 and future of your education. Then most of the people say, right, we can go with the online platform, we can go with self-studies, and some are says blended method or something like that, right? Then I again ask you to think about each alternatives, what are the constraints you are going to face, right? Then those constraints, some are say for the self-studies, the limited access to the books and infrastructure facilities and something like that. For the online platform, the connectivity issues, devices issues, and some computer literacy issues, right? Now, we identify alternatives, where to solve the problem, as well as the constraints associated with each alternatives, right? Then again, I'm asking you the very most important action. Think about that problem, that means COVID-19 and future of the education, and find out or construct the main objective behind that problem, right? Now, මං කිව්වා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට COVID-19 සහ future of education කියන්නේ ඇත්තටම අපේ problem එක, right? හැබැයි problem එක ඇතුලේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ objective එකක් දැන් create කරන්න ඕනේ. Now, right? So then I'm asking one student say, if my memory is correct, one student say, so having successful future or something like that, right? I'm sorry, I couldn't remember exactly, but that person says to having a successful life, right? That's good. Okay, that's the objective. But then I'm asking to rethink about it, and you are constructing objective as to complete your degree within 4 years of time. Then COVID-19 එකයි education future එකයි ගත්තාම කෙනෙක්ට ගන්න පුළුවන් හොඳම most important objective එක තමයි කොහොමද අවුරුදු 4 තුර මම degree complete කරන්න කියන එක. That is your ultimate objective now, right? That is your ultimate goal right now, right? Because we are still having in the dark because we don't know what will happen in next year. Okay, so we don't know whether we can conduct our examination on the time. We don't know whether we can get your results on the time, right? So these are the issues. Okay, so therefore we are constructing objective like to complete the degree within 4 years, right? Now that is your objective. Then what are your constraints? So you having a constraint of technical connectivity issues, devices issues, and then go with the computer literacy issues. Right? So then The feasible solution mean you can solve all the three constraints, right? We can solve your devices issues, connectivity issues, as well as your computer literacy issues, right? Then your solution is feasible, right? Now, after fulfilling that three constraints, yes, you can complete your degree, right? That is we call feasible solution. But remember, what is your objective? You need to complete your degree within 4 years of time, right? Now already you have completed 3 years, right? Altogether. Okay. Now within 1 year, you have to complete your this semester as well as other semesters, everything. Okay. So once your constraints are fulfilling, but you cannot obtain your degree within 4 years, so your solution is not optimum. So then what we call optimum? Optimum mean your constraint need to be fulfilled as well as you need to achieve your objective, right? So actually we are developing these models, right? So we call this is the model, right? We developing this kind of model to find out these optimal solutions, right? Now your problem is to obtain the degree within 4 years. So then we construct it as an objective. Then we develop the model based on your constraints, right? So that's what we call linear programming model, right? Okay, so I'm not discussing this. Now this is second example. Once you read it, then you can find out this is the answer. Now this is the model we develop, right? Okay, so then we are making the graph, right? Because we have only two variables in this case, right? We are making the graph and we find out the solution likewise. Okay, now this has another example, extra example. You have to work it out and find the optimal solution, right? I don't need these answers, but you have to work it out by yourself, right? Then again, this is example number 3. You need to work it out, right? Very simple one, but only thing is you need to understand, you need to identify the steps behind the model development, right? Now then another example you need to work it out in your recommended textbook, page number 50, right? You have to develop the LP model and find optimal solution, right? So that's the end of the session. Actually very short session, but the working out your work is very much large in this session, right? So you have to work your own way to construct the model, right? Develop the objectives, develop the constraint functions, and everything. Please refer the recorded video that now within very short time period I will upload it to the LMS. Right. So that's the thing I want to discuss with you. I don't want to take much of your time. Right. If you need anything to add or if you have any doubt with the previous session, I believe now it is time for you to discuss. If you have any doubt or any issues with previous session, right? Not this one, right? So do you have anything to clarify based on the previous session? So I just take that session also. Yes, that's the thing. Right, this is the last time session we discuss. Right, so we discuss about the management science, then its technique, and these are the model we are developing. And actually the mathematical model is one model, but there are a lot of models you can see, right? Symbolic models, then determining models. So you can refer your textbook also, you can find out those different kind of models, right? But management science, we only dealing with mathematical model, right? So now I actually, I'm waiting for your answers for this actually four answers, right? This one you need to understand the different definition, right? Search from the internet as well as your textbooks also available several definitions. Now this is not only just write the answers, okay? Then මේක දිහා බලාගෙන definition එක copy කරගෙන ලියන එක නෙමෙයි මම මෙතනින් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. You need to understand the concept and write it, right? Definitions ලියනකොට හැම වෙලේම I'm always telling the students, okay, don't by heart the definition, just understand the key concept behind the definitions, okay? Just understand it. right? Then combine those three concepts, then you can create your own definition. හරි මේ ඉගෙන ගන්නවා කියන්නේ අන්න ඒකට අනුන්ගේ definition එකක් කටපාඩම් කරන එක නෙමෙයි ඉගෙන ගන්නවා කියන්නේ. ඉගෙන ගන්න නම් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මේ definitions වල තියෙනවා අපි ඒකට කියනවා keywords කියලා. Right? Key points. You need to understand those key points. Right? Then combine those key points and identify, then construct your own definition. That's why I asked you to identify 3 definitions, right? Because each and every definitions are slightly different with each other, but the meaning is same. But you can understand that the different things are appraising or different things are initiating these 3 type of definitions. I want you to practice that technique. ඒකයි මම තුනක් ගන්න කිව්වේ. හරි definitions තුනක් ගන්න. මේ හොඳ definition හොඳේ මේ ඔය Wikipedia අරම use කරන්න එපා. Please don't refer Wikipedia as a sourcing web page, because that is not well recognized web page to refer. Right? You can refer some well-known books, right? And find out the definitions of management science. Don't go beyond that, because your textbooks also available 3-4 definitions, right? Then find out what I'm saying. Definitions අරගෙන බලන්න කොහොමද එකිනෙකට එකක් වෙනස් වෙන්නේ කියන එක. right? අර්ථය ඒ කියන්නේ අපි කැටිකල්ලා ගත්තොත් අර්ථය එකයි, හැබැයි ලියලා තියෙන විදිහ වෙනස්. That's the thing you need to come across with the different definitions. ඔය මේ exercises වලින් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන. එහෙම නැතුව මට ඕගොල්ලන්ට කියලා definitions ලියා ගැනීමේ උවමනාවක් නැහැ. right? මේකයි ඉගෙන ගන්නවා කියලා කියන්නේ. Now you are undergraduates, right? You are not anymore A-level students. A-level students, you are getting a question as well as answer. You by heart it, you write for the examination, right? Now that culture is completely different in the university education. So university education means you search, you observe, and you learn, right? First you search the definition, and then you observe what are the uniqueness of each definition, and you learn from each definitions and construct your own, right? That's the meaning of learning. Okay, so ඒකයි අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ, right? Then you have to answer the question, why knowledge of management science technique required? Actually, in this case I am asking, why learning management science getting importance to you, right? Then you have to answer that question. ඇයි management science ඉගෙන ගන්න එක වැදගත් වෙන්නේ කියන එකට උත්තරේ හෙව්වනම් හරි. Okay, then you have to discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of mathematical model. Right? Now you know what is a mathematical model after you are referring this session, right? Then understand, having mathematical model, what are the advantages you are getting, right? And having only the mathematical model, what are the disadvantages you are getting? Very simple, right? Then lastly, identify the scopes. That means the area where management science can be applicable, right? Now in here we are referring the management discipline. Remember that point, right? You are referring the management discipline, under which management discipline areas you can apply management science knowledge. That's the last question meaning. Okay, so that's the thing I want you to come across with the first session, and then you can refer the second session, right? And work out with the given exercises in here. Okay, and work out with the given exercises. Now this one I have already working out. Okay, then you have to work out with this example, right? And find out how the answer is getting on. Then work out this again example. This is already available in your textbook, and find out this how this answer is getting on. And you have to work out this on. This is not available in your textbook, right? This is all created by another case, right? So then go with and develop the model and find the option, right? Okay, this one is not available in your textbook also. You have to work it out by yourself. And this one, last one, it's available in your book. Read it and find the answer. Okay. Right. Now that's the end I want to discuss with you. If you need anything, now it's time for you to speak. Do you have anything to clarify? I have uploaded your group member details into the LMS, and also I send a message via WhatsApp group, right? And ask if anyone has any doubt or any clarification or any mismatching with the way I created groups and the way you created groups, please let me know. But no student send me any request, then I believe that your groups allocation now okay. So there are 27 groups, I believe, right? 27 groups. Some group have 5 members and some group have 4 members. So I don't want to change anything because that's your options, your choices, and I don't like to interfere students' freedom of decision making, right? And I believe that you are making that groups with all your consent, right? මම හිතනවා කාවත් බලෙන් group වලට අදගෙන දාගෙන නැතුව ඇති කියලා, right? And now your deadline for the group amalgamation or group alternative alterations over. Now I believe that 27 groups are fine, and you are going to be having good group working on that aspect, right? Your first group assignment will be uploaded very soon, right? Your first group assignment, and Sachintan Nimis will do it in a very short period of time, right? And based on the model formulation, I will upload the individual assignment because I don't feel that it is going to have a group assignment, but you can work it as a group, but I need your answers as individual basis, right? So once we complete with the practical session, okay? So I told you that so in the linear programming model, we can solve based on 2 methods, right? Graphical method as well as simplex method. But based on the using the technology, we can easily solve it. It doesn't matter you have more 2 variables or 10 variables or whatever, but using Excel solver, we can easily solve the linear programming models, right? Actually, that the meaning is we can identify the optimal solutions using Microsoft Excel solving method, right? So I need to done a practical session also, right? But don't worry, you don't need to come on live, right? I uploaded the video very soon, right? Anyone who was having problem, any issues? I believe that we are having 77 participation. Very good. I'm really impressed about your participation. But I know another 50%, 50 students are missing. So that means you are having some issue with the connectivity. Anything you want to add? Or otherwise we can wind up the class. If you don't like to talk with me, you can send a chat, but I prefer to hear your voices. Anyone? Someone is going to open the mic, but I don't know whether it is mistakenly or purposefully. Com 19129 AS Vimala, I don't see his full name. I believe that you don't have any questions. So please refer the video clip. I will upload it within 5-10 minutes, right? Refer it and try to work it out the given exercises, right? Learn it by yourself. Though Thursday, you don't have any online sessions, right? And you can enjoy your holidays, okay, actually. Then Monday, I opened the online session like this, right? If you have any questions, you can join it and clarify your doubts, okay? So I believe that I can upload the videos, then you can refer it. Then if you have doubts, you can discuss with me on that online session. Right? Thursday, I'm not going to have any online session with you. Okay, am I clear to you? Just someone say yes, at least.
Yes, madam.
This is Hasanga Jayasingh something. Yes, Hasanga. Thank you for replying in the thing. Then I believe that I know that students are there. Right, dear students? So stay safe and see you next Monday with this kind of live session with your questions. Right? If you have a question, please join. Right? If you can understand my nice videos, you can enjoy it and understand the management science. So next week, yes, if you have any question. Sorry, I think next Monday onwards, Sachintan Miss will conduct the class, right? So if you have any doubt, you can ask from Sachintani Miss on that session, right? Okay, then I release my duties for 2 weeks. Right. Thank you very much for joining with me today, and please enjoy the video. And if you have any question, let me know, right? And you can use the WhatsApp group. Let me know. Then we will see what we can do. Right. Okay. Goodbye to you. Stay safe.